With all the talk of the world ending tomorrow, which it won't, we thought we would look into Grand Rapids' past to find the cataclysmic events that seemed for the people who lived through them to be world-ending. Tim Gleisner, manager of local history and special collections at the Grand Rapids Public Library, talks about the top 3 GR disasters, starting with the Great Fire in 1873.
It was 130 families were basically displaced at one time by this fire north of Michigan Ave. In Holland, most of the city or town was consumed in this fire at the same time. You might think it was the end of the world at that point. And really the cause of it here in Grand Rapids and elsewhere was really to have to do with our largest industry throughout the upper Midwest, and that was lumber.
After the Great Fire came the Great Log Jam.
1883, the log jam. Basically you had a spring thaw, the logs are coming down, they get stuck at Ann Street. And you had, I couldn't even tell you, millions of tons of basically wood sitting in the river, and people are watching the wood to see what's it going to do.
The log jam was over 5 miles long and destroyed most of the bridges crossing the Grand River.
It was a catastrophe.
Then, in 1904, the Grand River flooded.
And basically you had the whole west side underwater. Now, if you were a West Sider at that time, you might consider this to be the end of the world, because you consider there was enough water that covered the west side all the way to John Ball Park. And you look at the pictures, I mean, people literally were rowing down streets. Boys were catching large catfish, outside their front yards. So it was pretty much a devastating time for that side of the city.
Grand Rapids has seen its share of disasters, but just because some bad things may have happened doesn't mean it is the end of the world. In Grand Rapids, Steve Zagman, WZZM 13 News.